Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah.
Now let's talk about a healthy road to weight loss. What is the most effective diet for you? Changing the way you think about the word diet should be one of the first things that you do. I get it. A lot of people have a negative connotation with the word diet. With it, they often associate it with restrictiveness. Where you're taking away something that you like. Basically, you're taking out the fun of what you enjoy about eating. Alternatives to using the word diet, if you really just can't get away from the negative connotation of the word, it's using a word like lifestyle. So instead of saying that you're on a diet, say something like you're changing your lifestyle. You want to gradually change your diet. So if you're looking into different types of diets that you think might be able to help you, instead of going all in, diving right into the deep end of the pool, instead try it out. So for example, if you're deciding to do an intermittent fasting diet, instead of making it where all your meals for the rest of your life are all intermittent fasting. So the positive thing, there are positives and negatives to diets. The positives obviously is that a diet, if you stick with it, it will help you lose weight, or if you're trying to gain some weight, if you're doing it by the book exactly how you're supposed to, it should theoretically be able to help you reach your goal in either the gaining weight or losing the weight. Often one of the reasons that contributes to success, for example, if you're trying to lose weight through intermittent fasting or through a ketogenic diet, is that a lot of times that these take away some of the unhealthy foods or unhealthy eating habits that have been contributing to your problems that have led to your gaining weight. They also introduce healthier foods. So if all of you've been eating has been fast food every day of the week, if you're sticking to a ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting or whatever type of diet that you've decided to adopt, this will take that away or give you a different strategy that will allow you to enjoy those junk food types of meals on a certain occasion. If you're keeping with that, you'll be able to still be able to gain or lose the weight, and have a better chance at success. The negatives, of course, about dieting is the restrictiveness. Taking away the foods that you like, especially in the beginning, is going to be hard. It's not so there is physical hardships that happen with it, but more often it's usually the psychological, where it's just eating away at you that you miss whatever foods that you used to love to eat. And if the pain is so great, it can get a person to just give up altogether and go back to their old eating habits. Also, there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all. So just because you saw on Instagram or on TikTok that this person lost 100 pounds from intermittent fasting, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. In fact, you might be the complete opposite, and it might not work at all for you. Same thing goes with ketogenic diets. If it works for some person, it might not work for you, or it might work for you. The only way that you'll be able to learn is if you give it a try, and also that you do it the right way, that you do your research, and you make sure that you're not doing something unnecessary or possibly hazardous to your health. Big thing about a lot of these diets, though, is that for an extended period, they're usually unsustainable. So that is one of the issues that is common amongst the ketogenic diets. A lot of people that I know, some of my clients and former clients that have tried ketogenic diets, have told me that it was great in the beginning, the first 3 or 4 months. They were dropping weight like nothing, but as they went on and on, they got kind of bored of the foods that they were eating. They enjoy eating meat, but they miss eating rice or they miss eating bread. And because of that, they actually ended up abandoning the ketogenic diet and they regained their weight. And also you have to remember that the body really doesn't want to lose a whole lot of weight, this is actually related to the hormone leptin, which has a purpose of maintaining the body weight. When a person is losing weight, more leptin is produced because it wants you to go back to where you started. Instead, one way to help reduce the chance of regaining the weight is to slow down the weight loss. That's why a lot of health professionals recommend losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. I know this isn't the lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks that whatever weight loss challenge is promoting, or whatever Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers at WW now are promoting, but that is more sustainable if you slow it down. And if the diet is extreme and the weight loss is really rapid and really you lose a whole bunch of weight really fast, it might slow down your resting metabolic rate. So basically your metabolism will slow down. If your metabolism slows down, then you have a better chance at regaining the weight. Tips if you decide to adopt a diet. You have to make sure that you do the research. You can't be lazy about this. If you're not sure, or if you think that you might be having some trouble, or you want more guidance in adopting one of these diets, make sure that you talk to your doctor first, and you talk with a registered dietitian or someone with an education in nutrition, like a master's in nutrition. You want to ask a bunch of questions, especially asking yourself if you see yourself eating this way every day for the rest of your life. If you don't see yourself eating in a ketogenic diet for the rest of your life, or at least for a couple months, then how do you see yourself sticking to the diet? You also want to make adjustments to that diet to fit your personal goals, your needs, and your schedule. If it's not fitting those things, again, you're probably not going to stick with the diet. This might mean that you might have to change the frequency of the meals, or you're gonna have to think of the snacks that you eat throughout the day. For example, if you're adopting an intermittent fasting diet, so in case you didn't know, intermittent fasting is where you're giving yourself a window where you can eat. A lot of times it's 8 hours where you can eat, and the remaining 16 hours you're not allowing yourself to eat. If that's just not fitting your work schedule or your schedule in life, you can reduce that to 6 hours, or you can extend it to 12 hours, as long as you're giving yourself an extended period of time where you're not eating. That is still considered intermittent fasting. Another big thing is you want to make progressive changes. This will make it a lot easier to make the adjustment. So what do I mean by progressive changes? I mean, like what I said earlier, where you're not just diving into the deep end, starting the diet, making it where that's all you eat for the rest of your life. Instead, you want to try it out. Give yourself a trial period to see if it is something that you see yourself doing for a long period of time. So if you're considering either a ketogenic diet or Mediterranean diet, intermittent fasting, you can try each of those diets out for 3 days, 4 days, or for a full week, and be able to see if it really is something that you enjoy and that you do see yourself eating in such a manner for at least 6 months to a year. This also goes into eating healthier foods. This, again, I see all the time being a personal trainer for the last 8 years, that people try to jump in eating nothing but healthy food, but instead, since their mind just isn't into it just yet, they usually rubber band back and go a lot worse than they were in the beginning. There's what they call the 80-20 approach. So this one, a lot of registered dietitians and doctors really like, because it helps ease a person into eating healthier while maintaining your sanity. So instead of feeling that you only had to eat boiled chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life, you're eating healthy, but at the same time, you're giving yourself an opportunity to eat the foods that you enjoyed. So, for example, hot Cheetos are my thing. I know they're super duper unhealthy, but I do let myself go once a week where I give myself a chance to eat a bag of extra hot Cheetos, but for the remainder of the week, I'm not eating them. Why? Because I'm just not going to the store to buy those Cheetos unless I really, really have to go to the store. Even then, I make sure that I don't go into the chip section, so I'm not buying the hot Cheetos, or I'm eating hot Cheetos more than once a week. Instead, if I'm just eating the hot Cheetos once a week, I'm not really going to gain weight from the hot Cheetos. If I do gain some weight, it's something other than the hot Cheetos. So what the 80-20 strategy is that 80% of the time you're eating totally healthy, and then 20% of the time you're giving yourself a chance to eat whatever it is that you wanted to eat. You want to make sure that you're still disciplined about those 20%, the 20% meals where you're able to eat whatever you want to eat. Just because it's 20% of the meals that you're eating, it doesn't mean that you could eat a whole pizza and a cake and pecan pie with soda and a bottle of wine in one meal. If you do all that, then I have a whole lot of respect for you, because that's a lot of food. But also, that's probably going to be way over 10,000 calories, probably. I would be really, really impressed if you can do that. But you would probably be feeling like absolute crap after eating like that. Even though the thought might sound great, I wouldn't want to try it myself. The good thing about this is that it eases one into the unnecessary stress from trying to eat healthy all the time, and it keeps the person on track to reaching their goals.